A Georgia mother is facing jail time because her nearly 11-year-old son walked into town by himself.
As a result, she was arrested, fingerprints and mugshots taken.
She says he was never in any danger.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a Georgia mother who was arrested for allowing her child to walk less than 1 mile into town to go to a Dollar General. Now, this is completely ridiculous. Listen, when I was 10 years old, I done the same thing. When I be at home in Virginia, I could just go where I needed to go. We're living in the urban area. I can just walk down the street and go to the corner store. Okay, that's normal. You riding your bike to the corner store, you're walking. When I was in West Virginia in the summertime, I would go down to the corner store. I walked to my grandma's house, walked to my aunt's house by myself outside. It's okay. It is okay. I was younger than that. I probably was 7, 8 years old doing that. You know what? Before I get into the video, I just want to say this. There are so many bad kids out here just acting a complete fool, damaging society, deleting people, going to school, crashing out. And maybe, just maybe, they didn't have any freedom. They were put on dog leashes as children, treated like animals. So when they act like animals, you can't be surprised. This boy and the mom are totally normal, 100% normal. And the arrest, in my humble opinion, is just way over the top. Now, before I go any further, let's watch the actual clip here. I will link to this in the box. I may not be able to play the entire thing, but of course it will be in the box. If you're on IG, visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
What am I under arrest for?
For reckless endangerment.
And how was I recklessly endangering my child?
Brittany Patterson never imagined that she could end up arrested for something like this.
I was shocked, surprised, disbelief. Couldn't really understand what was going on or why. They told me to put my hands behind my back, and then I had to ask to tell my children goodbye.
Way over the top. And I'm sorry for pausing at a certain point, but you know how I got to do. But it's just way over the top. Okay, this boy right here looks perfectly capable of going to the Dollar General less than a mile from his house by himself. Okay, but he's almost 11 years old, probably like 6th grade, maybe middle school, in the elementary school. You're old enough to do something like that. When I was his age, also, I had a key to the house. So when I would get off of the school bus, I would just let myself in, fix something to eat. I'd be chilling. I was very independent at that same age.
Recently, the Georgia mother of 4 making national headlines.
A Georgia mother is facing jail time because her nearly 11-year-old son walked into town by himself.
As a result, she was arrested, fingerprints and mugshots taken.
She says he was never in any danger.
And you know what? I read the article too, because, you know, sometimes they say things on television to make it sensationalized. Look, you see Dollar General right there. That is easy. I mean, that's an easy walk. You in a small town, everybody know you, it's okay. I guess the fear is maybe somebody going to pull up in a white van and kidnap you. But I mean, it ain't really that deep. It's not that deep. Okay. This is totally okay. It's not a bad thing to do.
Into custody after her 10-year-old son left home by himself and was found walking alone in their small town of Mineral Bluff. Brittany charged with reckless conduct, sparking a nationwide debate over what's right and wrong when it comes to a child's independence.
Now, before we get into some of the online reaction, what do you guys think? I want to hear your reaction, your responses to the whole thing. And again, I read the article. It was nothing more than this. It wasn't drugs or any kind of danger. He literally so the mom had taken, I think, one of the younger kids to the doctor. And during this time, the boy stayed home. Well, he decided to go to the store, probably get some snacks. The same thing I would have done at his age. And as a result of that, she's getting arrested.
In the comments, Jesse, half was for her, half was against her.
People everywhere weighing in on all sides.
Who are we kidding, y'all? I've probably let my kids do way worse things.
Even on talk shows.
I say please drop the charges for this mom. She doesn't deserve to be arrested for this.
If any parent has read any of the Beverly Cleary books, Ramona, Henry Huggins, those kids were roaming the neighborhood in a way that we would call free range now. We used to allow children some freedoms that we no longer allow them. And I don't think that's to their benefit or to ours.
The crime was that she didn't know where her kid was for a little while because she'd left him at home, and to her surprise, he didn't stay home. It's just so normal, and to make that into a crime is insane.
It seems like everyone has a take on Patterson's case. How much freedom for a kid is too much?
If we don't give our children opportunities to be more independent, they don't get to exercise those muscles and think of them as someone who is capable of being independent.
According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, children are generally ready to walk alone safely without adult supervision at around 10 years old.
I think that's right. That age is 100% old enough. And like I said, before 10 years old, I was out there pretty much just doing my thing, going to the store, going here, going there by myself. I probably was maybe about 7 or 8 years old. And by the time I had a key to the house to let myself in after school, I probably was about 10, maybe 9 or 10 years old, 100%.
Parents watching this story who are kind of thinking to themselves, what would I do in my own scenario?
No parent always knows where their kid is, and it's not a crime that kids are human beings and sometimes make bad decisions, sometimes don't tell you where they are. That doesn't mean you're a bad parent. That means you're a human being with a fellow human being who's younger than you.
I mean, look, if you're raising your kids right, the kids know right, wrong, danger, don't go here, don't go there. They understand how to move around. You got to understand your kids. If your kids are intelligent and they understand things, they'll be okay. Now, if you have a disabled child or something like that, that's different. But if your kid understands how to maneuver, they'll be fine. Okay, they might make a little mistake here and there, but they're human beings, first of all, and they're kids. You have to allow them to make mistakes. You have to allow them to have independence. So when they get to be an adult, they don't crash out because they never had the experience of being independent as children.
Recently, the Surgeon General issuing an advisory about parents feeling high levels of stress, highlighting that 41% of parents say that most days they are so stressed they cannot function, and 48% say most days their stress is completely overwhelming compared to other adults, and that time demands and concerns about children's safety can contribute.
The Surgeon General just did this big study where he said that parents are really miserable. Well, of course, if you're expected to be with your child every single second, and parenting never had to be 24/7 until now. But I don't blame the parents. I blame this culture that talks endlessly about the impact of every parenting decision on every atom of their kid's being.
That was very, very well said. Hold on, she deserves a round of applause. Yeah. Round of applause for her, because that was very well said. The parents shouldn't have to be all in your face all the time. Really, by the time I got to be in, I would say, middle school, the parenting time was over. The parenting, really, the intense parenting is when you are a child, when you're a baby goo goo gaga out the womb. You got to learn to count. Matter of fact, I'm going to leave this in the box so you can see the rest. It's kind of a longer video. This is about 8 minutes, but you get the general idea of what's going on. She got arrested because her boy, almost 11 years old now, you're talking about probably middle school age, walked to the corner store by himself, less than a mile away. They make it seem like the kid was 3 years old and he was out in the street with a diaper, selling crack, all kind of stuff. It's like, no, man, like he's okay. When I was his age, I was doing the exact same thing, and I turned out fine. I ain't never been locked up. I ain't never crashed out. I'm a productive citizen in this country. And I would assume a lot of y'all are as well. A lot of y'all might have been 5, 6 years old going to the store by yourself, riding the bike, going to your friend's house. That's normal independence. And you know what? Matter of fact, I got one more thing I want to show you guys. One more thing. I almost forgot, because there is a penalty. There is something that could happen if you don't allow kids to have some independence.
You're not hurt.
No, but we're
So you see this woman hitting herself, doing all the kind of crazy stuff, screaming, hollering, crying. Little bit of context. So she hit somebody and tried to run away. That's called hit and run. That's going to the penitentiary, Big Rocks, Little Rocks. She did a hit and run because she hit somebody and didn't have car insurance. And then when the person confronted her, this is what she's getting. Screaming, hollering, screeching, crying, cussing, hitting herself. Maybe, just maybe, she was affixed to a dog leash at 9 years old in the airport by her mom. Maybe she was not allowed to go anywhere, do anything, have any kind of independence, which is why we having this full-blown meltdown as an adult. We say that a lot of these adults nowadays, they're like children. That's why they got to get, I did a report on that at Harvard when Trump won and Kamala lost. They had to give the students, the adult students, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, blankies, binkies, babas, ice cream, cupcakes, cookies, and whatnot, warm milk, because they couldn't handle the election results. Well, maybe if they were allowed to go to the corner store and get a soda pop on their bicycle at 8 years old, like everybody else did, then maybe they'd be a little bit more well-adjusted into adult life. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to all the parents that raised their kids right and allowed them to just do simple things like this. I mean, you know what? The opposite of this is that lady that got arrested in, what was that, Utah, for keeping their kids hostage. That super hardcore parenting, not allowing them to do anything. That is where this kind of thing leads. If you are locking somebody up for allowing their 11-year-old almost to go to the store, the result of that is what happened with the influencer mom that got locked up for keeping the kids in the dungeon. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your thoughts on this whole situation? Mom getting locked up for the boy just going to the store. Like, when I first saw the story, I was like, it's got to be more to it. Maybe the mom was on drugs, it was a meth lab, and there was abuse going on, and the dog bit him in the hind parts on the way to the store. No, it was nothing like that. This was what I did and what I would say the majority of y'all did as kids. It's okay, especially in a small town. I mean, come on. I could see if the boy is 2 years old with a diaper, can barely talk, and it's Chicago in a dangerous area, and he's out there selling crack. That's not what this was. But whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. It's totally ridiculous. And I think this kind of activity of arresting parents for this should never happen in this country or really anywhere else in the world. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.